conversation that I had with Dick Gregory, he mentioned to me that you were one of the men that he admired most. I know that there are a lot of young people who really admire you and old people alike. I'd like to know who
you do.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I'd like to know, who do you admire most and why?
Why my most? When you're so high up, it's hard to look up in the high. No,
that must be a nice position to be in. Not have
I tell you what, no, I tell you,
can't you think of anybody?
He died physically, but not spiritually. Who I admire the most, the man that gave me my name, Muhammad Ali, taught me everything I know about everything. That's Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. If the white man in the east freed you and me to go to work for self, and you go all around the earth, eat an object, to wherever you want to, then he's not to blame today. You are the one to be blamed. Yes, sir. We all love to be equal with other people who are equal. Well, then do something to make them to accept us as they equal. Yes, sir. We can't sit off with you on the curbstone and tell him to come sit down with us. Right. No. We are lazy. We want something for nothing. That's what we are. We're lazy.
Culture, style,
compassion, excellency, knowledge. This is Understanding
with Carlos Cote.
Elijah Muhammad, a governor and a messenger to get black people to respect themselves and to honor themselves.
Desire and plan of Mr. Muhammad to make us completely self-sufficient like other people are. Because the only way you can be independent, you have to be self-sufficient. As he says in good language that we all can understand, we have to take our stomachs out of the white man's kitchen. And so this is one of the significant things about Mr. Muhammad followers. We support ourselves. I mean, in the black community, there are very few or nothing that's supported by the black community, because we have not been trained to support ourselves. We support every other activity except ourselves. But the followers of Mr. Muhammad, we have supported ourselves, and this is why we're able to maintain our own private schools. We have our own farms. We have our own newspaper plant. We have our own bakeries and other things, because we do these things ourselves.
There are cows to be milked, lambs to be fed, and eggs to be collected daily from over 23,000 hens, and stored fruit to be shipped. An 18-hour day is not...
One of the things that Elijah taught that no other leadership presented, and that was how to eat to live, teaching black people how to eat for a healthier lifestyle. And one of his main restrictions was staying off of that pork.
Now, it's a proven fact that the human body was not designed to digest pork. Now, it's full of fats and cholesterol, which leads to clogged up arteries and heart attacks, which could kill you. Now, if you eat them sausage, it's the same as taking poison.
But I'm gonna make me a nice poison sandwich.
Come on, Pop. We're gonna start eating righteously, which means that no more pig is to be brought into this house.
No more pork chops?
Bacon either. Ham, spare ribs, pork roast, pig's feet, pig ears, neck bones. None of that stuff. Strychnine, fatback, salt pork, lard.
But no more chitlins?
No more chitlins
either. There was one person in this country that brought us the problem and solved it without switching you from one drug to methadone another one, without a federal grant. And if that man would have been a white man, we would all know we have the solution. His name was Elijah Muhammad. And now you black folks know, because he took our mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles and cousins, took them out the gutter, hooked to all kinds of drugs, all kinds of whiskey, all kinds of everything with pockmarked faces and bloodshot eyes. And when he gave them back to us, their faces was as smooth as velvet and their eyes was as white as snow. And they walked with a dignity like the sun would touch their head. How did he do it? Rearranged their diet. He took a Malcolm X who was a thug, a pimp, a dope addict, and a dope pusher. And when Malcolm left us, he was one of the most honest, ethical human beings that ever lived in the history of this planet. How did the old man do that? Did he send him to Harvard or Yale or MIT or Harvard University? He rearranged his diet, and he didn't do no more. And right today, we can walk across this country in the black community, and we can recognize black Muslims, not because of them bow ties and funny looking haircuts, because of the texture of their skin and the quality of their walk and the whiteness of their eyes. And there's no trick. There was no magic.
Elijah Muhammad's teachings had cleaned many black men and women. His teachings had also cleaned Spanish-speaking people from the Americas. But there's one special student that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teachings had cleaned up, and that was Malcolm X.
They'll praise Malcolm, because now it's safe to talk Malcolm. You know, it's safe to talk Malcolm X now, but they never speak of the man who cleaned Malcolm X up from being a street thug, from being a pimp, you know, and the man who equipped him to where he can speak in colleges and universities. And I'm not just talking about black colleges. I'm talking about Ivy League schools such as Yale and Brown and Harvard and even Oxford University, right? And made Malcolm known all over the world. See, what kind of fool praises a student but never give kudos to the teacher?
Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a frail man of 72, runs the organization with an iron fist. His word is law in 47 Muslim mosques in major cities across the United States, including Miami. However, they do have a quasi-military unit consisting of the most able-bodied men in the movement. It is known as the fruit of Islam. The Muslims consider themselves the fruit or product of American slavery, a fruit that contains the seed of the future black nation. The Muslims say that this elite secret army is to be used for defensive and not offensive purposes. These are scenes of the fruit of Islam guarding Elijah Muhammad at a 1964 Chicago gathering, celebrating the February 26th birthday of Master W. Fard Muhammad. But a University of Miami sociologist says black Muslimism is simply a response to white nationalism. Dr. Murray Binderman.
It seems to me that a government panel of very widely respected authorities have said that we are living in a racist society. By that, they meant that whites are innately racist. By innately, I mean it is part of our culture. We accept things in terms of considering blacks as inferiors. We accept this as almost a part of the culture. Just by being born here, we get some of these things. We learn some of these things from our parents, from our society. And
what is the Nation of Islam?
The Nation of Islam is a group of black men and women committed to the philosophy and teachings of Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a man whom we believe Almighty God Allah raised up in America to civilize and reform the conduct and behavior of black people and to make us into a nation for the glory of God.
Every black man under the sun is brothers. I don't care whether he live in America or live in Asia or Africa or in the islands of the Pacific or the Gulf.
No matter which black governor you choose to admire, none had students that had received world fame and dropped jewels like Elijah's students.
Men make, but I'm just want to let the sisters know that's nothing we have to be ashamed of. Our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our mothers, us, everybody. We ain't never had no woman that had a man that wasn't never with nobody else. It doesn't exist. It is called, the messenger said, the imagination of truth.
This is why I'm not always anti-Negroes doing all this. All this is TV, everything is so good. He makes makes a little money, I make a little money, but his brothers and uncles of mine are catching hell and hungry, and we on TV, like everything is so rosy.
If Ali wins the fight, you're going to end up in a cement box in Lake Michigan. All Herbert Muhammad had to do was, his henchmen would come over and they beat the hell out of Bernie Glickman. He went to the hospital, beaten within an inch of his life. From the hospital, he went directly to the loony bin, to the mental institution, where he eventually lost his life. He never saw the light of day again. That's why I got the fight with Muhammad Ali.
We got these black mayors, black councilmen, and can't even get a concession a damn baseball game. What good is it to vote? Chinese don't vote. How many Chinese mayors do you have? You don't know, do you? But look how many Chinese banks you got. How many Chinese loan companies you got. How many Chinese restaurants do you have? How many Chinese schools do you have? Hell with voting. Let's get some of this power.
See, Jesus, don't look back there 2,000 years ago. That physical thing never happened. Never did they take a man and hang him up on a physical cross like that. You say, well, how did we get that story? From the builders of grafted artificial mentality. From the builders of the lie that was fabricated to put you in the condition that you're in. That's where you got it. And anybody that was watching the leadership of Honorable Elijah Muhammad for the last 2, 3, or 5 years of his life know that it was going downhill. Crime had come into the community. We were being embarrassed by criminal activity in our community. Men had to go out and stick up banks to get money to pay bills, to pay off mortgage notes, pay off bank notes, to pay taxes. Men of our community had to go out and stick up banks. Had to sell dope to keep a minister sitting on a false throne with some diamonds on his hand and mink and chinchilla. Had made sissies, superfly sissies out of black Muslims. Come here. You niggas better not tell me anything. I'll come out there and stump you in your face. Come here. Right up here you got sissies. Right up here there are sissies. I don't have to identify them. You know some of the sissies that sit up here. In every mosque leadership, you got some sissies. Now, who are you going to follow, me or the sissies? All right.
Here goes Brother Kareem, Brother Muhammad, not James Jones, Harry McGillicuddy. Here goes Etikwa Lumumba. Look at what he's done. Look at what he's built. Not look at his diploma. Look at what he's accomplished against obstacles. This is your challenge, black brother. You must make a commitment this day to your people. These are your parents. Some of them 50 and 60 and 70 years old, on their way down into the valley of death. You are their new beginning. You are their commencement. You have the hopes of your parents on your shoulders. What will you do with them? Will you dash their hopes against the rocks by becoming junkies? Will you dash their hopes against the rocks by becoming so white-minded that you will strive for material things and forget the suffering of your people? Will you get wrapped up in some fine office building or some fine company of white people and say, I've got it made now? Is that where you're headed? Will you go to college from here to party, to play, to smoke reefers, to fornicate, to commit adultery, to live a low, cheap life that our slave masters have taught us to live? What are you going to do? We want to know and hear from you, not tomorrow, but today. What are you going to do?
When white people open the door to let you into college, they're not letting you in because they love you. There's another trap for you if you're not wise to see your way around it, and that's why I love the valedictorian and the salutatorian. They were saying we've got to open our eyes to see the trick. What kind of foolishness is that you want to engage in? You can't help your people that way. Don't go to college for simply to play sports. The world never honors, the world of wisdom never honors basketball players. The world of wisdom never honors football players. The world of wisdom never honors song and dance men. You've been clowns and buffoons and sport figures too long.
You may go ahead. You're on the air, please, Mr. Muhammad.
It is time that we realize the fact that we have been here 400 years serving, almost serving to slavery for all these years. And now for us to take and try and be shy of speaking up and taking over that which actually belongs to us by right of justice. It's making a fool out of us. Therefore, we black people must remember and must act upon the principles of this one thing, that we are the black people of the earth, the original people of the earth, the first, and we're not going to have in the last, we're forever. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir.